Stock market today analysis for Aloha Friday, March 31st, 2023. At the 1 minute mark of this video, a link is going to pop up right here that will give you 5 reasons why you should be selling cash secured put options on stocks you'd be happy to own. If you are taking zero action in the stock market, and you happen to be watching this in the year of 2023, then I believe if you have an internet connection, a bank account, and you spend money at least once a year, then you have no legitimate reason not to be selling cash secured put options on stocks that you'd be happy to own. If you're already taking action in the stock market and you got some stuff that works for you, you can check out that video at the 1 minute mark and see if these reasons would compel you to learn how to do this. But if you're taking zero action in the stock market, you might as well watch this video right here. It's going to pop up. Get ready. Boom! Right there, 1 minute. You don't have to watch it right now. You can come back up, watch it later. That's why I put it at the 1 minute mark. Easy for you to remember. But watch that and realize that one of the great things about the strategy is that you can cash flow the stock market, and with time you can achieve financial freedom without spending a lot of time in front of a computer screen. So you can do the things that you love instead while working on achieving your financial goals. Under the free tab right here, you can access this. You can access it right here. You can access these downloads. Use this playlist in conjunction with these downloads. If you want to take it one step further, you can pay me some money and I will expedite this process for you. If that sounds interesting to you, either go to the link in any video description that I have posted on my YouTube channel, or just type in ihavesuccess.com into your internet search browser, because ihavesuccess.com is a very easy to remember name. Now, it's been about a year since getting close to a year. I can't remember exactly. Actually, might be a little under a year, but I'm closing in on a year of doing this I Have Success stuff, and I'm going to be changing some things up to try to better suit myself and you. But one thing I really want to be honest with you about is that I don't do this for a living. In fact, I'm not trying to do it for a living. I don't want this endeavor to become a situation where I have to cater to, bow down to, compromise to people that I would not want to hang out with. I'm going to keep things in such a manner that I will be able to tell people, I don't want your money. If they say to me, what, my money's not good enough? That's correct. Your money is not good enough. No amount of money is good enough for me to deal with you. So just as they say, just keeping it real with you, right? Just keeping it real. So now you know where I'm coming from. So this option right here, it's expensive. I'm working on some less expensive options, but hey, if you don't want to pay this, don't pay it. I really don't care. I wish you the best. I hope you're a person that I could help. I hope you pay the money. But if you don't, I don't care. Over here, we're at forexfactory.com. And I narrowed this down. If you create an account at forexfactory.com, you'll be able to use this little filter button right here. And you can filter what different currencies or countries you want to look at. I had it on the Euro and USD. You'll see when you have it on the Euro also, even though, and it would be nice to know when where was it at? Something like Lagarde from she's from the central bank over there in Europe. You know, if she's going to be talking, it might be some market moving stuff. But look, it's just a long list, right? And it's just long. I might be in a similar position as you, as I work a full-time job, so we're trying to simplify things a bit. You know, if I wasn't working a full-time job and I just stayed in front of the computer all day, I'd probably be looking at that. But until I achieve that, I'm going to narrow it down just to see what's going on in the U.S. And we got a variety of high impact expected things coming out. One thing I want to point out to you that maybe to your benefit to know about these different type of what do you call these things, events, whatever, reports and things. This is a coin, and as you know, a coin has a head and it has a tail. And so here's the tail, here's the head, but it's got this little edge right here. I learned this from Robert Kiyosaki, and anytime I've asked people how many sides does a coin have, they normally say 2, but it actually has 3. It's got this little edge right here. And what our job is to stand on the edge of this coin and look at both sides. If you're only looking at one side of the coin, you're polarized. Your brain is in polarization. You can only see one thing, but there's something else over here. So what's my point of all this stuff? The point of that is that these numbers, or these people speak, right here, Janet Yellen's going to be speaking. This one might be quite a bit of more of a market mover. These different Neil Kashkari is going to be speaking right here, and these can be pretty market moving events. But when you think about 3 sides of the coin, there's what they say, and then there's the market reaction to what they say. Now keep in mind, just because Neil Kashkari says something, I mean, the guy's a human being. Do you think he might fib sometimes? I'm not suggesting that he's a constant liar. I never met the guy. I don't know. Or Janet Yellen. I mean, you're a human. Have you met other humans before? I think so. Have you ever heard of this concept of lying? Have you heard of the concept of a white lie? Right? So just keep in mind, when this stuff comes out, it's going to move the market regardless if it's accurate or not. Regardless if there's a little bit of fiction weaved inside. So keep those heads and tails. Stand on the edge. Realize that this may not be true, but the market might react to it as if it's true. Or it might be true, and the market might react as if it's not true. Or it can be any combination of those. But these things will move the markets. And if you really don't want to pay attention to that type of stuff, I tell you, this strategy is phenomenal. You just keep kind of doing the same thing over and over. You learn how to fundamentally evaluate a company and look at some other aspects of it to see if it's going to be around a while. But I guess one thing we want to look at is that we got 1, 2, 3, 4 things that Forex Factory considers a high probability to move the market, and might be a little more. Like sometimes Neil Kashkari, people can really react to him. Janet Yellen, people have been really reacting to her lately. So, be ready for things to potentially go wild. We have our new lows of stocks making new lows has slowed down a bit. We still have the majority of stocks below the 50-day moving average, and a little bit over the majority of stocks below the 200-day moving average. Even though on the heat map we got all green today. One thing I wanted to point out to you, that over here, Walton is still unloading stock. This dude is unloading stock still. So maybe from the 30th. So maybe he's slowing down. Not sure, but another thing to realize, when insiders are selling, they could be selling for a variety of reasons, right? Yesterday I had mentioned, maybe Walton needs to pay off his mistress blackmail money. You never know. Now, again, if you're like, oh, hey, Brent, you're always looking at the worst. Yeah, maybe he's paying for his kid's college. Maybe he's paying for her daughter's wedding. I don't know. But don't just necessarily assume that it's always innocent. You never know what's going on with people, right? And what else do we got? We only got one headline showing up with banks today. Now they're just, it's almost like this big banking fiasco is done, and now we're just talking about, hey, Stocks going up. NASDAQ gonna end with a great quarter. This is an ad. NASDAQ looking the best quarter since 2020. Hey, we got one here, and stocks extend rally. All right, it's like everything is just hunky dory now. Let's take a look. Here's some overall general markets, and everything that we're looking at right now, we're looking at 1 month, and each candle is 1 day. So there's roughly about like 30 days of trading here, or it might be 20 if we count these candles. It's like 1 month of trading, or how exactly? I never counted those candles, but we see in the main indices that we had a big up day, right? NASDAQ looking grand. Look at that. That's why they're talking about that, right? And we see the Dow Jones coming up here to try to battle this pivot point from last time on the SPX. It passed this pivot point, or on the SPX we're in the 4,110 area, so now we're getting back to being between 4,000 and 420. I mean, yeah, 4,000 and 4,200. So that's going to be interesting to watch what's going to happen. It's still just showing like a lot of volatility, right? We see the Bitcoin had been moving sideways. Oil is off this low and kind of in this middle of the range, right? Where kind of it's been kind of keeping this, not this exact dollar range. It lowered. It used to be like a range of 72 something to 82 something. It lowered down, but it's still kind of bouncing in a range with some severe volatility back and forth. Gold has a bit of a similar look to Bitcoin. All right, we're going sideways right now. We're pushing up to the top of that edge of there. 20-year treasuries via TLT is bouncing up there on that 200-day moving average, and the dollar continued to move down. And the market, according to the VIX, the market, the volatility, I guess the fear that maybe they feel is down. We're really low. Look at this, almost 18. We're I guess it's really low in comparison to being up here in 30. So it seems that people are feeling like everything's fine. Is everything fine? I don't know. Now, another thing to keep in mind is the stock market isn't directly correlated with the economy anymore. We're looking at 12 sectors of the stock market here. We see the last month of trading up for the NASDAQ. We're up at the top of this range over here with healthcare, financials, really just hitting this resistance at 32. Trying to make a comeback over here in industrials, working up towards this area. We'll see if it can get past this 102, and then it might have a chance to get past the 104. Basic materials looking similar to the industrials. Communication similar to the technology. They have some similar type of stocks in there, and it's moving, hitting this high for the month up there. Retail, we're going to bump up here against the 200-day moving average. Real estate's making a comeback in that sector. Utilities made a nice run from bottoming out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trading days ago. Speaking of selling cash secured put options, if you would have sold a put option down here around 64, when it hit the 64, pretty rich premium right in there, and maybe I'll talk to you more about that later in some other videos. And we see the consumer staples moving up, and everything's moving up on ending out this month. It's probably going to be more of the same when we look at some of this stuff. So we see the S&P 500. We're at this 409, right, kind of getting between that 400 and the 420. And last time, during this time when it was going up, I was saying, hey, you got to see what's going to happen when it goes up through the 420. So how close is it going to get to this 418? Is it going to go past 418? Is it going to go up there? we will see. Maybe we can get some indications. We see Apple looking strong. Hit in the last 6 months. Hit a high of 165 today. Pulled back to about 10 cents. Microsoft, I bet you that's going to be, oh yeah, looking strong at the moment, right? And Amazon, not looking like Microsoft or Apple, but it's making a run up here to try to touch that 200-day moving average. Meta, also looking strong after this gap. Pulled back a little bit. I don't know. Some people might, maybe there's like a small little cup and handle here, and bing, kind of took off. They call it bull flag. I don't know, but whatever you want to call it, it went up. Google's in here twice and looking relatively the same. It's got to clear this pivot point right there, and also this one right in there. Berkshire Hathaway, still kind of range bound, right? Ran up here, and it's been range bound over that 200-day moving average. It's kind of sort of right in the middle of its range. Tesla still kind of looking more like Google and Amazon with a strong day up here. So let's see what's going to happen through here, since last time it couldn't get past that area. These two stocks right here are the only two in the top 10 that are not also in the top 10 of the NASDAQ. So we got, pardon me, it's not these two. It's Berkshire Hathaway and JP Morgan Chase. Nvidia is also in there, and that is looking with some strength running up there. And JP Morgan Chase, it's still dealing with that banking stuff a little bit, but it'll probably start moving back up. So let's move over into looking at the Qs. We'll just look at the two. So everything else in here: Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Tesla. They even got to put Google in here again. Nvidia, right? PayPal and Adobe are the only two in the top 10 that in the NASDAQ that aren't in the S&P 500. So for all this talk in our society about inclusion and diversity and all this stuff, I think the stock market is doing a horrible job at being inclusive and diversifying in the top 10 of those stocks. Even to the point when we look over here at the Dow Jones. Look at, we still got Microsoft in there again. Dow Jones. All right. So Dow Jones got that kind of look like who was that? Berkshire Hathaway kind of doing that. I think McDonald's kind of has this sort of same look too. Take that out of there, but up, been going through the sideways channel from being over the 200-day moving average. Getting up here. All right, what's it going to do around this area? Pivoted here before, tried to touch it before here. Couldn't even get up there before, and maybe it seems to be running out of some steam, but let's see. United Health Group, it's still it's just going down, but it's going up and down to make its way down. Goldman Sachs, another banking stock, trying to recover from those banking crises, whatever. And boom, had a big upward candle over here on Home Depot for the day. Let's see when it starts getting back up to the top of this range, what is going to happen over there. We looked at Microsoft. How about Salesforce? Salesforce has a bit of a picture of kind of like Meta, where it had this gap up here, kind of pulled back, and it's just been running strong so far. We looked at Crap Donald's and Honeywell. And I'm not calling Crap Donald's because it's bad stock. I'm calling Crap Donald's because that food is crappy. That is not some healthy food for you. And down, right? It's just been going down over here on Honeywell. Visa, what a great business model, and it's kind of got this look of Berkshire Hathaway and McDonald's and some other stuff, right? Over the 200-day moving average, just been moving sideways, but it hasn't been having as much overlap in the candles. Amgen, down, trying to come up. Not a surprise, and again, not a surprise with Boeing. It's got the same look. Crap Donald's, Berkshire Hathaway, or some of those other ones. I think Crocs might be one that's looking like that. Not a surprise, when you start looking at the charts every day, they tend to see that overall ends up being quite similar. And one thing that was taught to me early on is only trade a handful of stocks, so that way you really get used to their personality, right? And it's a lot easier to figure out what's going on with them. You notice those subtle changes. And over here, we're running up to the top We're going to see what's going to happen through this 180 on the Russell 2000. AMC is still just kind of, I mean, it's down on the 6 months, but it's doing this up down that equals sideways things. Shockwave, slowly trying to come back up. It doesn't look as good as Amazon or Tesla or Google, but does have a bit of that look to it. Biohaven, just still stuck in this $13 to $15 range. Intelia, and that's got the same Google, Amazon, Tesla sort of look to it. Crocs, yep, that was our kind of above the 200-day moving average, and then just kind of moving sideways through there. Chart Industries, all right, below the 200-day moving average, sort of just kind of moving sideways with a tiny bit of volatility. It's Karuna. This one is pretty interesting, right? Look at all these overlapping candles. How it just and kind of going sideways with a lot of volatility up and down throughout the day. Look at this. That's pretty amazing. Right? So this one, I don't know enough about this. And what is, oh yeah, Apellius. This one, pretty volatile also, but overall, look at, here's where it was 6 months ago. Here's where it is 6 months ago. It went up, it went down, and ultimately it is sideways. So what, where does this put us, right? You know where I think this puts us, and this is really just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. If it's worth nothing, then don't take it. Whatever you want to do with it, I honestly don't care. And one reason why I don't care, just to let you know, let you in on a little secret here, is making these videos really, sometimes like I look at more information when I'm making these videos than when I don't. Usually I just look at the stocks that I trade. So, I hope it is as good for you as it is for me, but if it's not good for you, I don't care. It's great for me. Selfish in that way. So here we are. We're looking at the weekly line chart, right? Going back 10 years, but I zoomed in a bit, and it's just kind of been in this range, right? We're back up here. We're getting close to being up there. Not quite up here. We're getting close. I think this point right there was like 118. Is that what it was? Yeah, 118 and some change. So we see this week has brought us up here over 400, which for the bulls, that's great, right? For the bears, I don't know if that's great or not. And it's still got to get through, it's got to break through this 420, and it's got to get through 420 in such a way that it makes it up to 440 and it starts breaking through 440 for a strong bull case. If it doesn't really do that and it just heads back down here to 380, or it gets, heads back down somewhere between 400 and 380, then we're just continuing the sideways market. If you wanted to, which I don't recommend it, I just recommend believing me, but if you want to test me out on this, you can go back several weeks, and I don't even know, these several weeks might add into months where I was talking about, hey, I think we might grind out of this downward bear market by going sideways. And so far, that's what we've been doing. Did I figure that out because I'm some oracle of reading this stuff? No, not at all. I figured that out because there's only 3 directions the stock market can go. It can go up, it can go down, and it can go sideways. And besides looking at the price action of what was going on and candles and stuff like that, there's in our economy in the United States, when I say our, I mean anyone that's in the United States, right? There's pressures that are pushing down. Globally, there's pressures that are pushing down. And whether you know this or not, whether you believe this or not, is irrelevant, because there is something called the plunge protection fatigue, and that's how pushes prices up. And then historically, the interest rates we're at are still low. So there are these kind of low rates that are helping pushing stuff up. And there's stock buybacks, and that helps push stuff up. And then there's 401ks and retirees that vote. And then the politicians that they vote for. And then the politicians are in office and they don't want that 401k retirement going down when they're trying to get reelected. So when you got pressures pushing down and you got pressures pushing up, if they're kind of equal to some degree, we got stock market can go up, stock market can go down, and it can go sideways. So between, understanding these pressures pushing down, pressures pushing up, looking at charts, I was just saying, seems like it can go this way. And so far, that's how it's been playing out. So what do you do about it? What can you do to actually profit from this? Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. It's not the only thing I'm doing, but the thing that I do the most, the thing that I keep going back to for me personally, is selling cash secured put options on stocks that I don't mind owning. Over and over and over and over and over and over. And if you want me to keep saying over, I can, because I gotta come up with about 5 to 7 years of over and over and over and over. I mean, once I got in the habit of doing this, I just have been in the habit. It might be even over 7 years. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what I do. I'm at a point where it's like, I will still do more than this, but I will always do this the rest of my life. At the minimum, I will be selling cash secured put options. The maximum, I will be doing that and doing other stuff. So check out this strategy. It's easy to implement. Bill Jones was all up in arms or all up in keyboard warrioring over here on me about why would you do that when you can do this and I'm making all this money? Hey, for the Bill Joneses of the world, then don't do it. And not only for the Bill Joneses of the world, not only don't do this if you're day trading options and you're doing fantastic, then don't do the strategy. Not only that, for all the Bill Joneses, why are you wasting your time leaving comments like that? Right? So if it's not for you, it's not for you. Or maybe so if you're looking for some sort of debate or something, that's why I'm going back to the beginning of this video. Did I go? This is the second time I recorded this. I can't remember if I said this. If you're looking for debates and stuff like that, I'm probably not going to find a whole lot of debating over here, right? I'm not a Twitter debater. I'm not even kind of an in-person type of debater. It's like I got to really kind of know you in order to even want to have a debate. Because if I don't know you and we're debating, it's like one idiot plus me debating equals 2 idiots. So it's not a free country, but you still are able to be an idiot. So be an idiot if you want, but I don't want to be an idiot with you, right? So I was probably more harsh than I needed to be. Oh, Bill Jones, man. All right, you guys. Okay. All right. So don't be a Bill Jones. Just if you like the strategy, do it. If you don't like it, don't do it. Keep it pretty simple. You got more important things to do with your life than to debate with some dude that you don't know online. If you don't have more important things to do in your life, slap yourself in the face a few times and figure out what you can do in your life that's more important than debating with people you've never met and you never will see, and it never will make any bit of a difference in your life. With that, you guys have a fantastic weekend and aloha.